you ladies just get me out of this box right now!
Hello my friends, welcome back to Player Display. I know what you're thinking, I just reviewed the General Ursus figure from Planet of the Apes yesterday. How is it that we're doing another review now? Well, sometimes time do be like that. Again, my birthday happened recently, and finally my piece de resistance came in the mail. I usually get gift cards, and I'm very tactical about what I want to get on Amazon, if there's anything interesting. I don't just want to get like a whole bunch of action figures these days. I could just get one really cool thing to add to my collection of masks, replicas, costumes, posters, just any cool pop culture paraphernalia. So what does a red-blooded, hot-boiling, hard-working 9-to-5 man do with his money? I got a dolly. So this is the Trick or Treat Studios Twilight Zone Talkie or Talking Tina from the episode Living Doll. Now, actually, this is kind of an appropriate video to do after the Ursus video because I love Planet of the Apes, as you all know, but I also love Twilight Zone. The same writers also did Planet of the Apes, so I didn't plan that. It's just how things lined up. And I've loved Twilight Zone ever since I was a kid. However, I didn't watch the Living Doll episode until recently when I saw this figure on sale on Amazon. And when I say figure, I use the term loosely. It's an exact one-to-one replica. And from everything I've seen, this thing looks absolutely beautiful. And on top of that, it's the first ever evil doll ever seen in pop culture. So this is technically Chucky's grandma when you really think about it. Firstly, again, I got this from Amazon, just picked it off the porch this afternoon. And this is how it arrived to me. This is the same packaging that we kind of saw with the Trick or Treat Studios Mohawk Mogwai Gremlin from Gremlins 2 that we reviewed several months back. So now here we are with basically the same graphics over here. So you see Trick or Treat Studios, description, Twilight Zone, Talkie Tina, even though the listings online call her Talking Tina, but either way, she Tina, and she'll kill you. Don't matter. And again, we saw this similarly with Mohawk, where you actually have a number of cartons. This is 24 out of 500, so this is probably just a particular batch. I don't think there's only 500 of these dolls around. I think she's been on sale for about a year now, maybe a hair more than that. I think I remember her dropping, but I never really thought about it because she was way outside my budget at that point in time. But again, if it's my birthday, I'm willing to break a few rules, make an exception, so why not? But this is like the last huge, giant review that I have for my little birthday batch. So that being said, let's get this thing open. I'm not going to rotate it because it's largely the same exact print and all that, and also my address is on the other side, and I want you to find me. You're not going to find anything interesting, just a crazy guy with a knife. Speaking of knife, hey, here's Betsy. All right, let's go. I went ahead and I opened the thing prematurely just so we could see how this thing is packed. All I did was cut open the tape. After that, it looks like we have a foam protector on the top. Very wise of them. I mean, if they're just going to ship it straight out in the box that it's packed in, might as well make it presentable and safe, so it looks good. And again, like Mohawk, it's foam, then it contains a box, which is also wrapped in protective plastic, which is a good thing. And here we go. Oh, hell yeah, she looks amazing. I mean, I can't say I'm surprised, because again, I've already looked up a few reviews on this just to be sure this is what I wanted, and honestly, I am very pleased. Oh, her eyes closed. This thing is damn cool, and as you could tell if you weren't expecting it by now, this figure is done completely in black and white, which I really love. It makes it feel like it's coming out of a different universe, or perhaps, in fact, the Twilight Zone. So let me get this plastic covering out of here, and here is our Talkie Tina doll. Let's have a little look at this little girl over here who will absolutely kill you dead. I'm going to avoid spoilers because even though I saw this episode very late in life, it is a good one and very important if you are into the evil doll subgenre. Actually, funny story of how I decided to track this particular doll down. I actually, being the toy collector I am, I had a dream that I got a replica of Torch from Puppet Master. And of course, after that, I had to go online and see, can I obtain a Torch replica? Would that be possible? And I saw one available on BBTS, way too expensive, and not very screen accurate at all, so I passed. But I kept going down the evil doll catalog, if you will, and Talking Tina really stood out to me. So here she is, looking great. This is the back of the box. I have a little bio up here. Very cool. Twilight Zone, once again. Talking Tina there. The features of this figure, including 11 sound clips, which is really impressive, actually, from the Living Doll episode. And then down there, we got Talking Tina 1-to-1 scale replica and a whole bunch of Jibber Jabber, including a barcode and Trick or Treat Studios. I'm not going to waste our time just like unpacking this thing going, whoa, wow, cool. I'm just going to take her out and then we will have a look at this horrible little evil munchkin. I just wanted to present to you the insert on the inside of the box here. We have a very beautiful, starry, spacey background, and is very befitting to the show. I mean, frickin' Twilight Zone. And down here, you actually have Rod Sterling's exiting a monologue for the episode, which is really cool. So, I really love that. That's a nice little bonus. A lot of care went into not just the product inside, but also the packaging. Anyways, here is our little killer doll, ready for action. And first things first, she can stand. I was not prepared for that. She is very, very tall. She did not stand in the movie. That's okay. But nice bonus that we can have her doing that anyways. Although I don't think I'd do that normally. I'd probably just have her sitting down like she does in the show. But she looks absolutely remarkable. I haven't articulated her. I haven't even moved around the hair yet, so we could start there. She has 2 pigtails, and it looks like you kind of just gotta flop them out of place. Oh, that's right. I forgot about this. It's hard to see on camera. You might be able to tell. There's almost this black hairnet of sorts here to protect the hair and keep it in place so it doesn't unravel or tangle or anything. So I think you just need to pull that away. Throw it away, keep it, whatever you want. It's kind of like a fishnet of sorts. And then that will release her hair and extend that charming, innocent little girl guise that she has before she reveals her true colors when no one else is in the room and you are alone with her. There we go. Very awesome look. This is amazing. She looks absolutely fantastic. She's way too big. I'm going to have to move the camera around a little bit, if you don't mind. Have a few little extra looks at the nooks and crannies of my apartment here. But here's her face looking really great. As mentioned before, she is totally in black and white, absolutely monochrome, and she feels like she really stands out against all the vibrant colors of my place. Just being that she's totally deprived of color. Here are her eyes, which look absolutely gorgeous. I'm even going to zoom in a little further here. That camera will allow me. There we go. Look how beautiful those little glass eyes are. They may not be glass, might just be plastic, but you can tell that it's kind of like a covering over the iris, and it gives it this extra dimension. It feels like it's really piercing into you. It looks fantastic. Also got a cute little button nose, little mouth, airbrushed with some darker gray, and along with some freckles in there. Got some ears off to the side. Again, that beautiful silver hair. I like that's not just straight black. I think that would have taken it out of that illusion. I think the only place where this figure is black is on the eyelashes and on the shoes. We'll get to the toes later on, of course. But yeah, you got the 2 pigtails here. Beautifully tied, I guess. It would suck if you had to do that yourself. And she's also got what looks like 2 silver ribbons in her hair. Very 50s, which makes perfect sense. She also has these beautiful overgarments here on her dress, like this white lacy cloth. Teeny tiny bow over here, and another really big one down here at her waist. She really likes her silver ribbons. Who can blame her? It makes her look good. She also has a plaid dress. Looks very gorgeous. The material. It seems very high quality. It seems very thick, durable. I don't think it's going to unfurrow on you. I mean, if you roughly handle it and then or anything really, of course it would fall apart. But I feel like if you just have it sitting around, chilling, doing her thing, staring you down whenever you enter your abode, she's going to hold up fine, you know. So I wouldn't roughly handle this figure. Certainly wouldn't hand her to a real kid, but I think the quality is very excellent. Another interesting feature, which is accurate to the show, the arms are differently posed. They're asymmetrical. The one on the right goes straight down. The one on the left moves over to her hip a little bit, which I do like. It makes her a little bit more unique, I think, instead of just being totally stoic. Know what I mean? The dress also continues down into the skirt, again continuing with that black, not even black, more gray and white flannel, which I really love. Got her legs down there. Very adorable little socks and some very impressive pleather shoes. Yeah, I think that is pleather. We have 2 keys to wind her up and turn her on. So that might take me a few seconds to figure out. I'm probably going to do that firstly before I show you how it works. I'm not just fumbling around at the switches for a long time. So I'm going to give that a try, and then when we come back, I will show you exactly how this doll operates. Under the assumption that there are indeed batteries included with this figure, although I could be wrong wrong. We'll find out together. Here's what the back looks like after you part some Velcro, which is otherwise very seamless and hard to notice when it is all together, even from the back. But here we have her undergarments under there. She does have underwear, adorably enough. And then, again, you have 2 keys. From what I've seen, I believe this top one is what turns her on. And then this little silver one here, it has 11 ratcheting points, each one for a different voice line. Now, you'll see that there's a speaker down here. And I think if we pull the undergarments down, you'll see there's a battery compartment. There's a little itty bitty plastic tab. So I'm going to need to pull that. And that is a good indication that there are batteries in this little kid. So there we go. I will, I guess, keep the tab for now. And to turn her on, I suspect, we can obviously just patch this all back up when we want. I think you need to, per the arrow here, you need to turn this black switch clockwise once. It doesn't go further than that, so keep that in mind. And then from here, I think we just need to turn this switch also clockwise. Oh shit, it begins. Let's have a chance to hear all these voice lines as she stares dead into the camera. So that was her first of 11 voice lines. One thing I'm really curious about is to hear the quality of the audio. Is it going to sound really clean and crisp, or is it just going to sound like audio outtakes from the episode itself? But let's find out. And there we go. Yeah, that's something you don't want to hear from any toy that you possess. Yeah, I do hear a little bit of the background music, but you know what? That's okay. Let's keep going. Yeah. That one's very menacing. And I think we're getting close to the end. And then it loops. So that was the 11. Pretty impressive array of audio. I think the last time we had any product with audio on this channel was the NECA Ed 209, who actually happens to be on my windowsill. And I think he only had 3 or 4 lines, quote unquote. Most of them was just gunshots. But she has 11. I think that's all her lines from the episode, so that's pretty impressive. Getting my phone back on the tripod here, you can see I velcroed everything back together. It's really just 2 tabs. You got it here from the waistband up to the silver switch, and then between the silver switch and the black switch. You just got to undo those 2. You can open it up, you can access the speaker, the batteries, wherever you need to, then close her back up, and then you'll have full clearance to the switches and do whatever you need to. My one concern would be battery corrosion, because I know if you leave batteries in something for a long time, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but I think that's one of the benefits of this big old black switch up here. I think it just cuts off, I'm hoping it cuts off connection from the batteries completely so they stay safe. But once again, let's review. Turn that to 90 degrees clockwise to turn her on, and then you have the silver switch and turn it 11 clicks also clockwise to get the little voice lines back and switch her back off. Go counterclockwise with the black switch. So, not too complicated, pretty simple. But here we are at articulation finally, and I actually haven't tested this out yet. First thing, I guess this is technically a point of articulation, like a classic doll when you have her lying down, her eyes closed, and she goes to sleep, pick her back up, and her eyes open, which is great. The only difference between the replica and the actual counterpart from the show is that the eyes and the arms were automated and then they moved together. But otherwise, they do articulate or move how you want, so you can still get her in some good poses, I expect. The shoulders, I think it's just a swivel. Why would it be a ball joint or butterfly? That would be just bizarre. I mean, it's accurate to the movie that she only swivels and doesn't do much more than that. So there goes one arm out there. And here's another. So, yeah, you can also see a difference in the hands here. Sorry, I know that we're going all which ways with the camera. One hand is more open palm, and one is more reaching out for you. I guess they're both kind of reaching, but I do like that they're different arms. I think that's pretty cool. And again, it's accurate to the show, so I do like that. I don't think it would be a waist swivel. Not finding one. It's probably just like counter articulation, right? So then, do have a swivel in the head. I think the head moved as well when she was wound up in the show. And then down here at the legs, I do want to see how she sits down. Yeah, like a traditional toy. I do have some experience with antique collecting, so that's why I know this. Everything kind of V's out, like any old vintage doll. So let's crank her out. I want to be careful. Feels a little stiff. I wonder if there's swivel in the feet. There's not, so be careful. There we go. And nestle her right down. Yeah, that's the way she's supposed to look. And, of course, there's no rocker in the feet. That wouldn't make any sense at all. But, yeah, just adjust her to get her sitting down comfortably, and she looks amazing. Very good. I just would be careful with where you're keeping her. I don't think this is a figure that you want to get too dusty or anything, because all it takes is one piece of dust that isn't supposed to be there, that's like off color or something. It would just totally break the illusion that this black and white doll has otherwise. But that being said, she is fantastic. I love her a lot. Now let's do some really bizarro size comparisons. Alright, trying my best here. We're in an alcove of my apartment that I've never recorded in before, so it might be a little dark and hard to get perspective on everything, but if I pull out, here I have our two size comparisons. Ignore my work backpack over there. Firstly, we have Chucky, of course. This is a life-size replica from Spirit Halloween. I wouldn't say it's the most accurate, but it is the most affordable. So that's my Chucky. And then down here, we actually have a haunted doll, which is very, very real. Not from movies or anything. This is the infamous Little Miss No-Name doll from the 1960s. She has a whole rabbit hole of information that goes with her. This is an authentic one. The only thing she's missing is her underwear. No questions asked. But she's one of my prized possessions. I actually brought her back to my apartment just for this occasion to put these two side by side. I don't know, I'm guessing I'm creating like an evil doll Avengers or something. I just need like, what, Annabelle, Tiffany, and Glenda, and then, I don't know, Robert the doll? Let's get them all in one room and see what the hell happens. Talking Tina is sitting, not standing, but she never stands in the film, so I don't really consider that in terms of her height. So when she's sitting as she's supposed to be, she is, of course, dwarfed by Chucky, but she's almost exactly the same height as Little Miss No-Name when she's standing straight up. If we stood Tina up, which I kind of don't want to do because, again, the legs feel a little tender in the joint, she'd probably be like midway. So she'd be above Little Miss No-Name, but still below Chucky. So worth keeping in mind. Before we get to final thoughts, I did actually think up one more size comparison that we can do that would be rather appropriate, as Little Miss No-Name stares off menacingly in the background, and Chucky and my Cooper Gremlin costume over there. I also wanted to bring in the Trick or Treat Studios Mohawk, who also recently released, and put him beside Talking Tina. He is a little bit shorter than her, which does make sense, but again, if she were standing, she'd probably double him in height, which would be pretty cool. But again, she's not supposed to stand in the show at all, so I don't feel any need to do that ever again, unless I need to store her for whatever reason. But nah, she's gonna be on full display, maybe with my masks when I do my gaming videos on Pod Plays. I will certainly think about that. Who's going to get replaced? I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out, but that's a me problem for the future. You don't have to worry about a thing. Anyways, that is the end of this quick overview of the Talking Tina doll. I know she's been reviewed already. She's been out for some time, but I really did want to give this figure a look because she is really impressive and a really awesome deep cut into pop culture. This is, again, the first evil doll, and that's become such a trope. Puppet Master, Annabelle. I mean, Annabelle is technically the real life evil doll. And then there's a whole bunch of others. I mean, I can't name them all. Hey, Slappy from Goosebumps even. Without Talking Tina, all those other evil toys that we know from movies and shows since would probably not exist. She led the charge, and that's pretty awesome. So she's just a nice collective to have, where she's not so obscure that no one knows who the hell she is, like poor Little Miss No-Name over there, but it gets people wondering, and she acts as a really good conversation starter, so I'm really happy to have her. As for how she is on an objective standpoint, lore and story aside, she looks amazing, very, very accurate to the show. I think there was also an Entertainment Earth replica that existed, but it pales in comparison to this one. From what I've seen, it was shorter, it was more raggedy, as opposed to almost being porcelain, fully sculpted out and everything, and the audio wasn't nearly as concise. She had less voice clips. She was like, it's not even a competition. This was the best version of Talking Tina ever produced outside of the actual one used in the Twilight Zone show itself. I don't know what the real one is now, hopefully in the Smithsonian where it could be well honored, but for now, this is an amazing figure. Audio is really clear. I mean, you can hear the background music a touch, but All that being said, it's still pretty concise. The articulation is all you really need it to be, albeit stiff, but it is accurate to dolls produced at the time. And I absolutely love the black and white deco. If this thing were in color, I probably wouldn't bother. But really, the black and white monochrome look is really what tips this thing over the fence for me. It just, again, like I said, it feels like it's coming out of the Twilight Zone. It doesn't feel like it belongs here. Almost like, here's a fun comparison, like, if you've seen Into the Spider-Verse, and then you get Spider-Man Noir, who comes from a black and white universe, and then he becomes obsessed with the Rubik's Cube, and then it's one piece of color in his very black and white monotone world. That's kind of how this feels, just in reverse, right? I feel like I shouldn't have this in my hand. It's like it doesn't belong. When you get it in hand, it's even more impressive. When you're able to feel the cloth, the hair, turn the knobs even on the back, which I love, just have a tangible experience. It really does bring this thing to life. Hopefully not too much to life, and hopefully you don't have a set of stairs. Fortunately, I don't. I'm in an apartment, so I'm okay. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed them, please, as per usual, be sure to like,
comment, ring the bell to be notified of our latest arrivals, and subscribe.
And if you've ever seen The Twilight Zone before, let me know in the comments what your favorite ever episode was. The very first episode I saw, it was with that old couple in the future, and they had the ability to buy younger bodies for themselves, but they can only afford to give one the surgery. And I'll leave it at that in case you haven't seen that episode before, because it's a really good one. Although, almost all of them are pretty damn great. So, thank you guys once again, rock on, and we'll see you all later.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Check out this other video you might like in our sister gaming channel. It would be real sweet if you did. Still waiting!